some light. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all well. Nice to be back after last Saturday's absence. What is it they say? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Oh, there's my notification going off. Right, so we're going to have to shunt this around in a bit. Let me get sorted out here a minute. Cheers, coffee time. Oh, gosh, that's good. Gosh, that's good. So hopefully you can see my workbench. Yeah, and you can... Hello, one person. Hi, one person, whoever you are. Hope you're having a good start to your Saturday. I got... excuse me, losing my voice. As usual. I got jobs to do on these tank traps. You can see where there's glue around the bases, so I've got to put filler around them and then give these some rust effects. But I'm not going to do that now. Ah, hello. Oh, that's fine, you eat away, you eat away. You can always watch it back on the rerun anyway. But nice to know you're about. Hope you're keeping well. Sent your fridge magnet, and I put in a key ring for you as well. An Airfix key ring for you as well. So, should get it in a day or two. Possibly even today. Yeah, so I've got jobs to do on those tank traps, but I'm not going to do those tank traps now. I do them off camera, I do them off piste a bit later. What I will do, apart from drink my coffee, what I will do, however, I will start work on the Masterbox Civilians. You can have a go at them. And also this box of Mini Art Civilians. We're going to start putting them together, start work on them. I gotta say, if I can get this box closed again. I do like Mini Art and Masterbox sort of stuff. Mini Art do stuff which you wouldn't normally think of doing. They do a lot of stuff for dioramas and stuff, like crates of beer bottles and pigeons and all the odd little things that make dioramas look nice. You probably find you'll get them from Mini Art and Masterbox. I like Masterbox figures very much. I've never had a problem with Hello, second person. I've never had a problem with Masterbox figures. I like Masterbox figures very much. Here's what's in this. Here's what's in this kit. Ah, my second person has gone. Never mind. There's the sprue. Little trolley with it. I think that's pulled by the child. Little trolley. So what we'll do first is we'll just clip out all the pieces with the sprue cutter. And then what I normally do, gramophone needles, okay, what are they doing there? What I normally do then is put all the pieces of the figures in these little shot cups. Let's wipe this clean a minute. Wipe this container clean. Once I've cut all the pieces out of sprues and done that, then I like to start removing the flash off these things. Yeah, these are handy things. You can buy them on eBay in the job lot, and they're absolutely ideal. So let's put that back down a minute. My sprue cutter's out. Excuse my arm in the way. My faithful old Citadel sprue cutters. So we'll start cutting these out. This is hoping to make this figure is supposed to be a Jew, I think. Hoping to make this figure a bit more non-Jewish, if I can put it that way. And of course I'll be, once we've cut all these pieces out, good morning 4 people, once we've cut all these pieces out, I'll save the actual itself. It's always useful to have for making aerials or bowstrings or whatever. So, never throw anything away. So I've got to cut these pieces out. I'll tell you something yesterday. I went, the nearest town to me that has a bank, right? So there you go, that's our first one. The nearest town to me that has a bank is like 13 miles away. The village I live in used to have a post office where you could do bits and bobs. That's now gone. There's a dwelling house now, so that's gone. So the next closest town is like 2.5 miles away. That used to have 4 banks, a whole pile of building societies. They're all, there's absolutely nothing. So if I want to go to a bank, the nearest bank is like 13 miles away. So that's what I did yesterday. I caught the appropriate bus and went to the bank and did my banking business. And paid some council tax and a water bill, and I thought afterwards I'd go for a cup of tea. So I went in this very nice little establishment, I have to say, and it also did sort of artisan chocolate and stuff. So I go in there, gotta be careful with this piece, incredibly thin, so gotta be careful you don't bust it. So I go into this little artisan place and a pot of tea. It was like £2.30 or whatever it was for a pot of tea. Good morning, 5th person. So I had the pot of tea and I'm looking at the chocolate and stuff. And in the cabinet on the counter, Harry F. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, Frank. Hope you're all doing very well, having a nice Saturday. So anyway, in this little establishment, down by the counter, there's a glass case on the counter, and it has buns in it, and cakes, all which look absolutely delicious, I'm sure. Morning, number 6. But none of which I can eat because I'm gluten-free, unfortunately. But they all look delicious. But anyway, I'm looking at this case, and top shelf, far left-hand end as I look at it, I see a plate and it says gluten-free. So I go and investigate now. And it had small buns on it, like you would sort of make at home in one of these dozen tray things with dozen like holes in it. Or like buns you would make at school in cookery lessons, a bit like that. A little dollop or something on the top, whatever that dollop was. And believe it or not, they wanted £3.50 each for one bun. Can you believe that? £3.50 each for one bun. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, this trend cannot carry on because it's going to get absolutely absurd. And I've been telling people this for years. You're going to end up, here's another one done, you're going to end up like Germany in the 30s. You're going to need a wheelbarrow full of money to buy a loaf of bread or something. Prices have skyrocketed. You're quite right, Frank. They have indeed. And it can't carry on. It can't carry on. It's ridiculous. Totally, totally ridiculous. But, you know, everybody's, unfortunately, everybody's trying to screw everybody else. It's the way of it now. Trying to look and see what's what. That's the little boy, isn't it? Right, so we cut the girl out now then. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, trouble is, the people that make all the decisions, they're all X thousand a week. So if a bun costs £3.50, who cares? You know, they don't care. They don't care. Ouch. I mean, honestly. But that's the way it's going. And it has to come to an end. It can't carry on like this. I noticed I did my good deed yesterday. I did a good deed yesterday. I was in post office in this place that I went because I had to pay my electricity bill and water bill and council tax bill. So I'm in there and a woman comes up to me and she says, in sort of broken English, I want to post a postcard. I said, oh yeah. She said, how much? I said, I'm not sure. So she sort of jumped the queue a little bit, went to the counter and found out it was £2.20. So she pulls out a handful of change now. Most of it, which is grubby looking euros, that she pulls out. And there's £1 coin and some little bit of shrapnel there which was usable. She come to about £1.70, bearing in mind that it's £2.20. And she's sort of saying to me, you know, is that right? Is that enough? I said, well, no, you're short. She said, well, you could see she didn't really want to get involved with going to the counter and stuff, because she wasn't confident in doing it. She said, well, you do it. Can you do it? Can you do it? I said, well, you should stay here and learn how to do it. You should learn how to do it. But now, can you? So I said, okay. So she gave me I turned the postcard over, and believe it or not, the postcard was from my home village, here where I live, funnily enough. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So I had some loose change in my pocket, so I got enough loose change to make £2.20. And she saw me do that and said, yeah, thank you. And off she went. So the postcard is posted. I paid the difference, which was about 60 pence or something. It wasn't very much. So I paid the difference, and her postcard is now sent to Portugal. So that was my good deed for the day. Yeah. But I did notice on the stamp the lady put on the postcard, our new king was on the stamp. So the way it was done, actually, from what I saw of the stamp and the way it looked with the new king on it, and it was done, this head was like done side on. First thing it reminded me of was postage stamps with Hitler on. That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. Mentioning Hitler and so on and so forth. The current topic of conversation that is going around, you've possibly heard, some of you out there. There's the wheels for the trolley. Yeah, absolutely, you're quite right. You're quite right, he will make a tidy sum. Adolf, yeah. Yeah, you're right, he will make a tidy sum, as if he needs the money. But the current topic that's sort of doing the rounds, was about historical war games. And a particular channel, which I won't mention, you can easily find it. That particular channel, there you are, we'll save this, because this could be useful further on. You can always, two pieces, jab them together and pull them out. Then you can make bowstrings or tank aerials or whatever with it. So we always keep these. Yeah, you can find that channel easy enough, but the topic of conversation was about historical war games. And sort of why we do it. And VK put it rather well when he said the argument put forward was a load of old tosh. I totally agree. You know, they were going on about, you know, neo-Nazis and all this business, and look, the reason we all war game is pure and simple because we're playing with toy soldiers. That's why we do it, no more no less. We enjoy competition and gaming. We enjoy playing with toy soldiers. We enjoy collecting and painting, and it satisfies the inner child in us. Because most of us, if we're honest, we're big kids. Because we started off playing with toy soldiers when we were nippers, when we were that high. And it's still in us, and it's still in us, and it satisfies that inner child that's still in us. That's why we play with toy soldiers. That's why we like to do it, no more, no less. Here endeth the lesson. That's why we do it. Not because we're neo-Nazis or yeah, rubbish. Right, now we'll have a look at that box by Mini Art. I like Mini Art stuff, as I said. But I will tell you, as much as I like mini art stuff. I gotta be honest, I hated the mini art tank traps. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm an absolute big kid, and I don't mind admitting it, because me personally, I can't speak for anybody else. Me personally, and I don't mind admitting it, but me personally, I don't like being an adult. I wanna go back to 9 years old and play with toy soldiers, and I want to go back to the early 70s, because that's me, because I don't like being an adult. I hate it. There's no fun in being an adult, it's crap. I want to go back to a time that I knew well, that was much better. So yeah, I don't mind admitting it. Yeah, we're all big kids. And, it was a much better time then, or certainly better than it is now. Sorry if the picture keeps jumping for some reason. Don't ask me why. It just probably somebody from MI5 watching me or something. But yeah, we're all big kids. That's why we play with toy soldiers, because we love it. Yeah, these mini art tank traps are bloody awful things. Bloody awful to put together. You have to do cutting to get the bits to fit. They're a wretched nuisance. They don't look too bad when they're done. They don't look too bad. But I'd take the put together. I wouldn't buy these again. Mini art tank traps. I wouldn't recommend them. That's for sure. The Tamiya ones are a lot better. They're a lot better. But other than that, I've not had anything that I didn't like from mini art. Alright, if you won't open easily. I'll cut you open. Yeah. Yeah, lovely weather at the moment, I have to say. Beautiful weather. There's a bit of paper with it, showing you the sprues and what should be there. That's handy. A little reference sheet. Mini Art 38004. If you're interested, 38004 by Mini Art. That gives you French civilians. And that gives you, I think that's 4 figures, no, 5 figures. Which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5 figures. So we'll do the same with these. We'll clip these off. This is the parish priest I'm doing now. As you know, I always, if I can say it, I always name my 135 figures. Don't do it with any other scale, but for this scale, I always name the figures. So I've already got a name for this priest. I'm going to name him after a friend of mine who knew more about the Bible than just about anybody I know. He's an amazing guy. Right. So which is the Baker figure here then? Which is the Baker figure here then? So we've got basket, arms and feet here. Trying to work this out, yeah. Right, so that's the priest. Didn't see any feet for the priest. Right, so that's body, head, cassock, or whatever you call it, hat we got. All right, that's the feet and stuff for the priest. Oh, okay, I'm with it now. That basket there was throwing me. Who does that belong to? That's the baker, but it doesn't belong. They got basket on this sprue, the body on this sprue. I'm with it now. Come on, Karen. Yeah. Forgot what I was saying now. Forgot what I was saying. Never mind. Never mind. God blimey, it sure is hot in here today. Right, so that's our priest figure. What I like to do is get all the figures I'm going to do, cut off the sprues in these shot glasses before I start scraping the flash off. Right, we'll do the policeman now, or gendarme. Anybody out there had any experience with mini art figures? Anybody like mini art figures? What do you think of mini art figures? Do you have a preference for figures? Do you do 135 figures? What was that, Ralph? Yes, I do like them. Yeah, I like them, mini art. Sorry for disappearing, and it went all very strange on me, the what's it, so forgive me. Yes, I like mini art stuff. Like I say, the only thing I didn't like was the tank traps. But the figures themselves, yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. So I'm going to enjoy doing these. Civilians. Right, that's another one done. Right. That's the old guy, isn't it? That's the... So look on the box there a minute. Right, we got two sort of old guys, haven't we? Right, try to work this out. Yeah. Okay. Keep at it, keep at it. I hate it when hands are separate. I'm never confident they're going to 100% stick. Where's our baker? Yeah. Okay, he must be our baker then. He must be our baker. Yeah, so I agree with you. That's... And there was a suggestion by somebody, going back to this historical wargaming thing. It was a suggestion by somebody that it was done to make a little bit of controversy and get more views, because the word gets around, oh, well, you must have a look, what did they say, what did they say? So you go and watch it, and it generates views, and yeah. But VK was right, it's a load of old tosh, the argument put forward. We play war games and play with toy soldiers because we're big kids, no more, no less. That's why we do it, because we love to do it. And you can't say Oh, I better not do this because my dad was in the war, so I better not do this, and so on and so forth. You can't think like that. You can't think like that. All right, I need a shot glass. Run out of shot glasses. Oh, that's clever, Karen. Oh, that's clever. There we go. Knock the tank trap off the base. Oh well. We can restick it, no problem. Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry about this, folks. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Wretched, wretched nuisance. No, you can't think like that. Oh, I better not play wargaming because my dad was in the... He wouldn't like it, and... ridiculous. Where'd you draw the line if you use an approach like that? Oh, I want to learn the piano, but I better not because the piano's a racist instrument, so I better, because there are more white keys than black keys, and the black keys are inferior to the white keys. Have you ever noticed that? The white keys have all the nice notes, the black keys have all the sharps and the flats, all the ugly notes. So do you then say, well, the piano is a racist instrument? Chess. I mean, chess. That's a racist game, isn't it? Black and white, black against white. And you'll notice white always has the first move. So black is not expected to win a game of chess because it's immediately at a disadvantage. See, they don't want the blacks to get anywhere. So you could say chess is a racist game. So do you say, right, well, I won't play chess now then because that's racist. I'm surprised somebody somewhere hasn't picked up on that point. But, you know, and I assume that's the baker there that we got. Let's have a look at the box a minute. Right. Yeah, I assume that's the baker we've got there. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at his legs here a minute. Yes, that's the baker we've got. Legs are a bit close together, I have to say, but right, I know where I am now. Remember I was saying a few weeks ago I fancy getting a Airfix Fort Sahara. I'd love to have an Airfix Fort Sahara. Just for sort of for old time's sake, 'cause I'm a big kid, as we just said. So, I don't know if I showed you this, but I managed to do just that. There it is. I won't take it out the box now, but it's still in the plastic bag, factory sealed. It's never been opened since, I think, about 1969. So, thrilled to get that. Thrilled to get that. Never, I always say with these vintage kits, I buy them to make them, and that's exactly what we will do. But that particular kit, I will not make. I will not make. I will keep that as original. Careful I don't clip my fingers here with this sprue cutter. There we go. There we go. So, I guess whilst we're doing this clipping, we might as well get it done. Excuse me just a tiny second. I've got sciatica in my ass. God, I tell you what, I've got sciatica in my backside like you would not believe, in the top of the left leg. Oh, wait. We'll clip these off at the same time. We get all the clipping done at once. Because we're going to do these at the same time that we do our civilians. So let's have a look at these, see what they're like. My fingers will allow me to get into the bag. Oh, they're quite flashy. Yeah, quite a lot of flash on these figures. It's not heavy flash, but it's flash nonetheless. There's the sprue for you to have a look at. Nice looking figures nonetheless. I'm sure they will paint very well. Just a bit of flash on the things, which is a bit of a nuisance. Never like to see flash on stuff, but can't be helped, I suppose. That's the part of the hobby. It's part of the hobby. There are going to be times when you get flashy figures. That's just, can't odds that. So we'll do this first box of these as per the box art. The second box we will modify. Okay, seems to be working okay now. I don't know what was wrong with it earlier, this damn thing. The joys of modern technology. The joys of modern technology, there you go. Yeah, flashier than I would like. But up to Master Box's usual nice detailed standard. So I'm sure they'll make very nice figures. Yeah. Right, so that's all one figure, is it? Yeah, it's all one figure. Okay. Yeah, always have yourself a good pair of sprue cutters. They're worth their weight in gold. Lovely detailing on the face on these figures, I can say that much. Very nice figures indeed. Should be a pleasure to work on, which it should be. Shouldn't be a drag or a grind. Whatever figures you're working on should be a pleasure to do. Oh yeah, look at that. That's you can see that. Yeah, it's quite. Let me put my hand around. Whether you can see that or not, that's really quite flashy indeed. That arm. Let's see if I can get it. That arm there. Ah, now you can see it, I think. Yeah, now you can see it. That's really quite flashy. I mean, it's nothing that can't be removed. Just needs a bit more work, that's all. Oh, so what's everybody up to this weekend? What are you doing? Are you doing anything interesting, any of you? Are you doing anything in the nice weather? Are you going anywhere? Or are you all staying at home, painting your beloved miniatures? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oop, oop, oop. Yeah, nice detailing on the faces. The miniature painter, Napoleonic French chasseurs, I think he said. Just got a notification come up on the top of the screen from the miniature painter. So I'll go and have a look at that in a bit. Always paints nice stuff, the miniature painter. And another one to our box, empty sprue. Always keep your empty sprues. Right, the last box. I'll cut these off. Change the color of the plastic. Gone from yellowy sort of plastic to their normal grey plastic. And I have to say, I don't have to, but I will. These are much nicer, nowhere near as much flash on these. Let's give it a, there you go. Nowhere near as much flash on these. Much, much better. Yeah, much happier seeing these. But in actual fact, these will end up that colour, because that's the colour so primer I use. So they're all going to end up that colour eventually. I come to the conclusion with Vallejo primer, I used to use the white primer, but it's incredibly thin primer, the Vallejo white primer. You need to put 2 coats on, and you get, brushing it on, you get a lot of air bubbles in it if you're not careful that are left in the finish. So I gave up with it and I went over to that yellow. That yellow is a lot thicker, goes on a lot better. Why the white primer is so thick, I don't know. I have no idea. So that arm with the bandage, the sling on that figure, we'll probably remove that and give him a normal arm, possibly holding a pistol or something, just to make a different figure out of the box. There you go, that's another one. Running out of space here. So how many's that we got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. We'll have about 20 figures. That's okay. That's okay. All good to keep us occupied. I tell you what, the nice weather and so forth. The sun is going absolutely crazy at the moment, crackling. I mean, I put my shortwave radio on this morning. The crackling and the noise was unbelievable. And the reception was absolutely awful. All down to the sun. So I turned it off and did something else. There you go, that's another one. That's 2 left. Yes, these grey figures are much better than the yellowy ones. I don't know what colour you call that yellow. What do you call that yellow? Oh, they class it here as German dark yellow. Well, whatever, it's there's more flash on them than the standard grey plastic. Why that should be, I don't know. Whether the moulds are getting tired, I don't know. I do like, I've got to say, I do like the sculpts from Mr. Gagarin. He does some fine sculpting, I have to say. I've never been able to find anything out about this fellow, Mr. Gagarin. Oh. But he's a fine sculptor, I'll give him that. There we go, on to the final figure for this latest batch. Yeah, it all takes time, doesn't it, doing this job? It all takes time. See, we've been going at this now 50 minutes, and all I've done is cut some figures off the sprues. That's all I've done. There you are, that's another empty one. So there you go, so that's 1, 2, 4, 8, 12, that's 19. 1, 3, 4, 8, 13, yeah, 19, that's 19 figures. Plus we've still got Major Carlisle here to give a brolly to and paint him up, so he'll make 20, so that's 20 figures we've to do. That's a nice figure, I like that. Resicast from Belgium. Yeah, it's quite a nice figure. Quite a nice figure. The only thing was, if you were going to use it as is, the Lee Enfield rifle was bent something awful. I'll show you. Here's the packet. Look. That's the Lee Enfield rifle. I suppose you could straighten it in warm water or something, I suppose, hot water, and bend it straight. Yeah, but we're not using it, so it doesn't make any difference for our purposes. Right, so there we have it. That's our batch of figures, all cut off the sprues. So what we'll do now is we can start work trimming these. We're cleaning these figures, so we'll put our sprue cutters away a minute. I don't think we should be needing them again, so we'll get our another Citadel tool here. Citadel mold line remover. Very, very handy tool. I always think with Citadel tools, you pay a premium for them, but they're very nicely made. Very nicely made. You know, this mold line remover is the only one I'm ever going to need, because you know it's just going to last you a lifetime. It's so beautifully made. Right, so we'll start off with the gendarme. See the excess on the cape of the gendarme. I mean, it's nothing to remove it, it's just bit of a nuisance. Let's have my cutting mat here, mate. Where's me knife? Where's me knife? Where's my knife? There it is, right in front of me. Yeah. Is my blade going a bit blunt? Where's my, ouch, where's my sharpener? I find with these scalpels, the blades go blunt very quick. It's a damn nuisance. So I end up sharpening them and using them that way. Sharpening them until they until they end up breaking. There you go, that's a bit better. That's better. That's better. And now it's just a sort of slowish job. Just to clean these up. This one, the gendarme, the body is moulded into the cape, if you can see there. But it should look okay. Always be careful with these scalpels, you don't slice your finger. Right, sanding block. Always make sure you have everything to hand. Yeah. Yeah, very nice figures. Sure they will look fine painted. Thankfully today we haven't been interrupted by Edie Fogmanis. He's asleep on the back of the armchair. Yeah, I look forward to getting some paint on these figures. They're very nice indeed. So, anybody got any ideas, let me know. See if anybody's commented or anything. Let me know what you think. Where do you think the state of the game at the moment, with prices going haywire and everything like that? Anybody got any ideas? Where do you think we're all going to end up with this? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to end in a free-for-all? What? Let me know. What do you think is going to happen with this? I personally think it's going to end in a free-for-all. There you go. That's that bit done. So he has, alright, front bits to the cape then. Yeah, right. Yeah, do you think it's going to end in a free-for-all? Is it all going to end tits up? I personally think it will. I shudder to think, I mean, some of you out there, not me personally, some of you out there have kids. So what kind of world are they going to grow up into? I shudder to think. I shudder to think. It's not looking good. Like I say, you know, like I said at the start, when you pay £3.50 for one bun, I mean, that cannot be right, can it? It is a bit more of the cape, anyway. Yeah, it's a sad world. Run by some very sad people. Getting sadder by the day. These are very good. Foam sanding sticks, they're very good. There's quite a bit of gear in them. And you get them in different grades. Well worth having a pack of these on the workbench. They're very nice. It's going to take me a while to do all this lot of figures for sure. But has to be done. Nobody's going to paint them for you. Well, I suppose they would at a price, but I mean, would never be confident they were done properly. That's my thought on it. Where's my mold line remover? Yeah, bit of stuff here, look. All gotta be got rid of. Very nice, very nice. Nice detailing. Gotta look very good. Not that we really need a French gendarme at the moment, but as he's in the box, we'll do him. We'll do him. I'm sure I've got come on. I'm sure I've got more civilians here actually. In fact, I know I have, because I've got a German Masterbox German checkpoint here, and that comes with, oh, I think it's about 3 civilians that it comes with. That was a very difficult kit to obtain, Masterbox German checkpoint. And it took weeks and weeks to get here. Well, it was like, I'll tell you what it was like. It was like the, I got a Bofors anti-aircraft gun here, which I'm planning to make in the future. And I wanted the crew for it. The Bronco anti-aircraft gun crew, Bofors anti-aircraft gun crew. I had to send to Germany to get it. Couldn't get it in this country, no how. But a nice kit, a nice kit. So sometimes you have to, they're not always easy to get, some of these kits. Particularly I find with Bronco kits. Bronco kits are, you always seem to have to pay a premium for Bronco kits. But they're nice stuff, and they're very nice kits. And, my father used to say, he pays your money and takes your choice. You ain't got no money, you ain't got no choice. That's just fair enough, I suppose. That coffee is going cold now. I am not one for cold coffee. Yeah, this is an invaluable tool. This mold line remover. It does an excellent job. It does exactly what it says on the box. Everybody should have a mold line remover. Beautiful. See, these mold lines are underneath the feet as well, so you can get rid of them. Even though you don't see under the feet, you still get rid of the mold lines because it makes the foot stand level then. There you go, that's both legs done. Final piece of the cape. God, that was tough. Why was that so tough? It's amazing actually, there's 4 of you watching me. For a live cast, that's not very many at all, but it's amazing. How many people watch this on the rerun? Which is fine. I did think, when I was just looking at the box of these figures, I thought, well, I could do the gendarme and leave the cape off. But now I realise you can't, because the cape's moulded into the body. So you'd have to give him an entire new upper torso if you wanted to remove the cape. Here we are. There we go. What's that? Oh, that's a nuisance. That's the head. Gonna have to look at this under the eyepiece. Oh yeah, that is not good at all, folks. Big load of flash right down there. That's awful. Hopefully I can get rid of it. Or failing that, I might have to give him a new head altogether. That is absolutely dreadful, folks. Yeah. I'm going to have to scrap that head. That's very poor. That's not good at all. That's not good at all. So that head's going to have to be scrapped. So I'm going to have to go in the spares box and get a brand new head for that gendarme, which shouldn't be, folks. It shouldn't be like that. I wish I could show you a close-up of that head. It's hopeless, hopeless. Ah, I'm disappointed. Disappointed. Disappointed in. Why am I calling these master boxes mini art, isn't it? It's mini art. Disappointed in mini art. That head is totally unusable. So I'm going to have to find a new head now. Shouldn't be like that. When you pay good money for figures, you expect them to be, for want of a better expression, up and running. You expect them to be okay. You know, you don't expect them to be bits in there that are totally unusable. That is not good at all. Should complain to mini art. Oh, that's eBay. Notifying me of something, I suppose. Right, I'm going to struggle with this piece because my fingers these days, folks, do not like holding very small things. I really struggle. I hope this doesn't flip out of my hand and go on the floor or something. That would be the worst thing ever. Like the handlebars to that bicycle the other day. Went on the floor and could I find it? Could I hell as like. So you replace the handlebars, then eventually you find the originals, which is sod's law. There you go, that's not too bad. That is not too bad. Yeah. You move that out the way. Why does that keep staying on the screen? Bloody modern technology. I suppose if he's a French policeman, this guy, we should call him Jacques Clouseau or something, shouldn't we? Right, and just the kepi left to do. And that will be our gendarme completed. Disappointed in that head. I'm going to have to go to the spares box now and sort that out. That's a nuisance. Not only am I going to have to find a head for this guy, I'm going to have to find one that's not already got a hat or a helmet stuck on it. Yeah, it's a damn nuisance. That head is totally unusable. I hope they're not all like that in this box, or I shall complain. See, with the old Airfix kits, you see, that's one good thing about them. You used to get a complaint slip, a little slip of paper in with the kit, and if you had a grievance or a complaint for whatever reason, you fill out the slip and send it to them. You don't get that now. All right, I know you can email them if there's an email address there, I suppose, but companies don't seem to care as much these days. There you go, that's the gendarme cleaned up. Hello, number 7, how are you? Right, let's try one of these yellow master box figures. Let's have a look at one of these. Hope you're having a nice Saturday, number 7, whoever you are. Nice to have you here. Well, nice to have all of you here. I hope your day goes well, whatever you get into. I'm possibly going to go for a walk later. We'll see, we'll see. but sure is a lovely day. I'm not really one for painting metal figures, as you know. How do you go on your metal figures? Do you get as much cleanup on your metal figures? Or are they a lot cleaner? How do they compare metal to plastic for cleanup? These yellow ones are quite flashy. I mean, like I say, obviously nothing that can't be sorted, but it's just all time and effort. This is all time and effort. But I get a real... What's that falling down there? I get a real buzz from seeing the end result. That's what I get a buzz from, like that, for instance. You probably can't see that. I get a buzz from the end result, a real buzz. So all the cleaning and cutting and all that, it's worth it. I think sometimes it's a shame to put these things in storage boxes. Some of these things are so nice they should be in a display case. Because they come out so nicely. Yeah, look at that, look. Yeah, wretched nuisance. But it's all part of the job. So anyhow, I'm not going to be buying buns of £3.50 each. If my father was alive now, he'd be amazed at all this. Gee whiz. You can't see it, but just above my workbench here, I got a portrait of my late father, who I miss terribly. I wish I could sit in a pub with him and discuss all this over a beer. We could probably pool our resources and buy one. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Going to the bank, applying for a bank loan. She says, well, or he or she says, yeah, well, what do you want to do with the money? You say, well, I'd like to buy a pint of beer if I might. I was thinking of investing the money in a pint of beer. Yeah, clean up nicely, these figures. They clean up lovely. It's just time and effort doing it. Yeah, and when I think my father bought a small holding in the country and he had a mortgage for 500 quid to do it. Unbelievable. And he had not only the farmhouse, he had all the outbuildings, quite a bit of land. Oh yeah, quite a few fields with it. All for the princely sum of £500. Can't believe that, can you? What would that be worth now? An absolute fortune, I'm sure. Yeah, I wish he was here now. I really do. Some days I cry terribly because I miss him so much. I believe they call it PTSD. That's what they call it. Another reason I want to go back to being a child, you see, because he was still around. But that's PTSD, that's what it does to you. Screws you up in your head. Yeah, my British Airborne contingent will be pretty much complete with the addition of some medics. That will look good. One of these figures I'm going to turn into a chaplain as well. So it'll have everything it needs. I do have other boxes of airborne figures here. A couple of boxes of figures by Eschi, what they call Red Devils. I have a couple of boxes of them. I have some boxes by Bronco. I have a few boxes here I can still do, but I'm gonna make these the last British Airborne for a while, just to have a break from it really, I guess, and to do something else. That's right on the toe of the foot, look. Wretched nuisance. How long have we been going at this? An hour and 27 minutes. So we go for a little bit longer yet. We can go for a little bit longer yet. If you're enjoying me scraping. Yeah, they're going to look nice figures for sure. I'll tell you who paints some nice British Airborne. That's Alex Price. You watch Alex Price's channel. He's been painting British Airborne. And he was talking about wanting to get them as accurate as possible. Well, it's very difficult. It's very difficult because, for argument's sake, you're looking at a picture of a British airborne Denison smock in a book, and you're relying on the photograph, the quality of the photograph, the quality of the ink in the book, to what you're judging your colours on. Same as looking online, you're judging it by the colour of the original photograph, quality of the unit you're watching it on. And also you've got to bear in mind it's nearly 100 years now, coming on for 100 years now, 80, 90 years, that the garment they're photographing has probably faded. So it's very difficult to get the colours right. It's not easy. But he's done a nice job. He's done a nice job of what he's painted. Yeah, a lot of flash on these. What he could do, and what I might mention to him sometime is, I noticed, rather than just paint that pattern all over the smock, you all know the Denison sort of pattern, rather than paint that just all over the smock, he can stagger it in place. You could stagger it in places because, as you're obviously aware, Denison smock wasn't made out of one piece of fabric. There were seams in the fabric down the arm. There's a seam, so you could stagger the pattern, which I do, stagger the pattern to make it look like a seam down the arm. Same with the pockets. You've got a pocket on it, so I put a block of colour, make it look like the colour's behind the pocket. Then the colour I put on the pocket will be a different colour, say brown behind and then green on top, just to make it look like different pieces of fabric, rather than just paint the blotchy pattern all over the thing. You know, it all adds to the realism of the thing. I noticed the other day I was watching VK and he painted some US Marines for Vietnam. Done his usual nice job, but he painted 2 or 3 of them as black Marines, black characters, black face, black arms, which is, I thought, that's a nice touch. It all makes for more realism, makes it more realistic. Black, 2 or 3 black Marines in there, which obviously they had in the 60s. So I thought that was nice. So it's nice to get the things as realistic as possible if you can. Well, I suppose in a little bit I better stop for a spot of luncheon. Getting a little bit hungry now. Not sure what I got in the cupboard. My groceries are due to be delivered this evening. I'm sure there'll come a time when they'll be reintroducing ration books, I'm sure. Petrol coupons. There'll be spivs on the street going around. Yeah, yeah. You want to buy some petrol coupons? 10 bob a dozen. Can't say fairer than that. Yeah. I don't know where we're going. I really don't. I really don't. Armageddon, that's where we're going. Yeah, one nice clean arm. Yeah, fair bit of clean up on these. What I'll do is I will clean this particular character here. Then I will adjourn for a spot of luncheon. Ah, this guy's got the berry moulded on. Okay. Okie dokie, that's a nuisance. That's a nuisance. Right, let's get all these tabs off. Yeah, I'd like to do as many of these figures as I can do now, because I can see there's going to come a time when my fingers are just not going to allow me to do this anymore. It's getting that way with certain things now. My fingers just don't want to know. I mean, to all intents and purposes, now I've given up playing the guitar now, because my bloody fingers just won't have it, which is a shame, but there you go. Such is life. Well, I've got to say, thank you for sticking with me. I got a new, I was just thinking, I was going to say, not been any painting, it's just been scraping, but I've got a new painting palette I'm trying out. It's, I do believe, 3D printed. So I'll show you that before long. It's not a bad palette, actually. It's not a bad palette. The only trouble with it was you don't get any paper with it, which is a bit of a nuisance. You've got to supply your own paper. But other than that, yeah, it's not a bad palette. I'd probably put it third on the list, behind the Chocolate Box and the Giachi palette. But it's all right. There you go. I don't know if you can see this or not. But super nice detailing on the hand there. That's absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. But to be honest with you, no more than I would expect from Masterbox. Mr. Gagarin. I believe it's Mr. Gagarin that sculpted these. Let's have a look. Yeah, sculptor A. Gagarin. Yeah. Yeah, very good. He always does a very nice job, Mr. Gagarin. So I don't know the latest. I'm out of touch with all this. Thinking about these Masterbox figures, which are Ukrainian. How's the war going in Ukraine? Anybody know out there? What's happening? What's the latest? I don't know. Anybody let me know? What's the latest on the Ukraine thing? I have my news feed turned off for Google because there's so much crap on there that I just turned the thing off. So I don't hear what's going on. So what's the latest? Who's winning the battle? Who's winning the battle? What's the latest with Adolf Putin? Mr. Putler. Oh, these bits are getting smaller and smaller. Gosh. Yeah, do as many of these figures as I can do now before my hands rebel altogether. Has anybody said anything here? Nobody said it. Dickie Bird. You're all very quiet today. That don't matter. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine. If you're just happy watching, that's fine. You're, you're happy listening to me ramble about old tosh. That's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's just nice to have you here. It's just nice. It's just a very relaxing, nice thing to do. Yes. If people want to join in and come and go as they please, that's fine. Pop in for 10 minutes, that's fine. That's more than fine. All the fun of the fair. Yeah, these are going to make some nice figures for sure. But I can see me having to delve into the spares box for these, for sure. Well, certainly a head for that gendarme, because that head's totally, that's no good at all. I don't think that's savable, that head, which is a shame. It's an outright shame. Now, it's okay for me, you see. That's okay for me because I got a spares box. As have a lot of you. You got spares boxes for your miniatures. But if a kid's gone out now and bought that with their pocket money, that's set, and they find that, that's a bit sad, isn't it? It's a bit sad. I always tend to do these things and make videos in general. I always tend to lose my voice doing these things. That's why I couldn't be a ventriloquist as a way of life. 10 minutes of doing Ely Folk Malice, I would be gagging. Bless him. Very easy voice to do actually, Ely Folk Malice. Just a very soft, very sort of shy, castrati type voice. Which I didn't have to search for when I first got him. It just naturally came out like that. I just said hello and it was like, hi. Well, that's a very castrati voice. I'm shy. And that's the way it went. He's come out of his shell a little bit since then, and knows what he likes and what he doesn't like. Hey, what? Can we have tea with honey and cookies? What now? Yeah. Hey, what do you want now? Can we watch Kojak? And it's all stuff like that, and it's all... And I do it just to amuse people, friends and stuff. That's the name of the game, you see, folks. That's the name of the game. I'll tell you. That's the name of the game. Because outside the window, right? Get rid of that a minute. Outside of the window, it's shit, right? It's all shit. We're all on the slope, hurtling down to the bottom. And what's at the bottom is a fucking great manure heap at the bottom, which we're all heading for. And we're all going to hit, probably sooner than later, right? And it's all going to implode and go tits up. So the object is to have as much fun as you can while you can for as long as you can. That's the name of the game. And that's one reason why I do play with Ely Folk Malice, because it's fun. And if you can bring a smile to somebody's face, so much the better. So much the better. It's interesting, I was reading a book on ventriloquism, and they were saying the best people, or the people that make the best ventriloquists, are people that are good at foreign accents and mimicry. It's something I've always been good at, foreign accents and mimicry. Just something I don't know why, I just have a natural aptitude for. So obviously the book is right in what it says. So I'm just going to clean this pistol, if my fingers will allow me to do it. Clean this pistol. See, dropped it down, look. I'll clean this pistol up. And what I will do is I will defer for a spot of lunch. God, this is hurting my fingers. Oh, it is very woody bad. Oh my golly gosh, it is hurting me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it is very bad. Right, just the head here a minute. That's the last bit of that figure. Yeah, quite a bit of flash on these yellow Master Box figures. You know, like I said, the grey plastic ones, it's actually the same kit, just much better moulded. God, this is fiddly. My God. Mein Gott. Midday. I can't see the clock. Yeah. Yes, midday. Well, it's been very nice chatting away here. I hope you all have a pleasant weekend. I hope you all avoid the plague, which is still about. It hasn't gone away, the plague. So I hope you avoid that. Because nobody wants that. Or whatever variant of it there is going around at present. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll settle for that for a minute. Here we have it. I am going to go and have some luncheon. Carry on with these figures later, or do those tank traps or whatever. Finished. Right, thank you. I will bid you all a good afternoon. Sorry for the hiccups to start with. I don't know what's wrong with the damn thing. Modern technology fair. So I will bid you a good afternoon. I hope you have a pleasant weekend. Thanks for stopping by. Or thanks for watching it on the rerun, because I know a lot of people watch this on the rerun. Because obviously they're doing other things at the weekend, which is fine. We will see you in a video when we've made progress on these civilians and British Airborne medics. Thank you as always. And thanks to everybody. I will say something quickly. Thanks to everybody that left me comments on the last video, nice comments on the last video. It's very humbling and very pleasing to know that people like what you do and appreciative of what you do and enjoy what you do. That's very nice. So thank you very much. That's very kind of you. After one particularly, I guess, rude comment, I suppose you would say, but such is life. He is no more. So see you further down the road.